22nd of June, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Thank you again. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Samanapsi Yerushalayim Kiryat Zoom, our second share in Mishnah Berura. We're learning Hilchos B'tzias Apas in the Mishnah Simon's Kuf Samek Zion, and I believe we're going to pick up with now in Pasuk Sif Tes Vav. Yeah.
Oh, Tes Vav. Okay, let me just get to it. Tes Vav.
One second. This is actually no. I think we have to review Yud Dalet. Yeah, we have to do Yud Dalet. This is somewhat more very relevant. Yud Dalet. Sorry, Sif Yud Dalet.
Okay, Yud Dalet. Okay. Second. It says, let's see, Yud Dalet. Imam Mesubim Rabim, Gadol Shebekulam Wotseya. Okay, so if there are many people, Mesubim, I guess, around the table, we said that was distinguished, I think, of all of them, breaks the bread. Okay. V'hinei, no, that's a chaga. V'im heim shavim, echad mehem kohen. Okay, so if all of them are equal, but one of them's a kohen, mitzvah lahakdimo. That mitzvah gives him the precedence. Ve'im hakohen haaretz, and if the kohen is I guess ignorant,
he's unlearned.
Unlearned. Okay. Talmid hacham kodem. So then a learned person takes precedence. Bima kohen gam kain talmid hacham, and if the kohen is a learned person, ela shehu pachot min hasheni. What if he lacks pachot?
Elahu shepachos min hasheni. Let's say if the coin is also a Talmud Chacham, but he's pachos min hasheni, that he's not as big. He's a Talmud Chacham, but he's not as big as the. Let's say you have a Kohen who's he learns in Kollel, and then you have a Rosh Yeshiva who's a Yisrael. So the Kohen who learns in Kollel, he's a Talmud Chacham. He's not a Rosh Yeshiva. He's not on a statue of prominence like the Yisrael is.
Okay.
That's what it means. If the Kohen also is a Talmud Chacham, but he's less of a Talmud Chacham than the other one, Tov.
Okay, Tov l'hakdimo, aval ein chiyuv badavar. Okay, so it's good that you would take precedence, I guess, but there is no obligation in this thing.
Right, meaning it's good if you would give precedence to the Kohen who's also a Talmud Chacham, but not as big as the greater Talmud Chacham. But there's no obligation that you must give the Kohen the rishus to bench, not to bench, but to break the make
Okay.
hamotzi.
Let's see. But I in the command, okay, so it's just giving a reference below it. Look, I guess it Reish Aleph. The im yesh imahem balabayit. Oh, and if the master of the house is there, hu botzea, he breaks the bread. Vafilu im ha'oreach gadol, even if he has a with a learned
Yes,
guest.
right. Even if the guest is greater, we'll see. The Mishnah Berura will give us the reason. If I'm not mistaken, the reason is why in all cases does the balabayas um, make the hamotzi, because he will give the hamotzi out in a generous fashion, right? That since it's his bread, it's his house, so he's going to cut the bread and give it out generously. In contrast, if he has a guest give out the bread, so it's a tendency that the guest, because he'll be a bit shy to take liberties with the host's guests, the host's food, so he'd rather probably give smaller portions than the larger portions of the balabayas, of the householder.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Mm, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Yud that's Sonic Vav.
Right, that brings up to Samech Vav. Mm, Samech Vav in the Mishnah Berura, correct. Go ahead. If there are a lot of people there, right? There are a lot of people dining at the same table.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Sonic Vav. Okay, right. Okay, so there are a lot of people there, Rabim. Vahu Hadin, and this is the law. Okay. Shnayim, Umare, She'eni Mahem, Habal Suda. Okay. So let's see. This is Din. There are two, Mare, She'ain, and there's
And
not.
what does it mean robbing? The Mishnah was saying, what does it mean robbing? It doesn't mean you have to have a lot of people, 10, 15, 20, 100, but even if you have two people is considered a robbing. In this halacha, two people is considered to be a robbing.
Oh, yeah. Last night I was looking at Pirkei Avot, and they have uh, the Mishnah concerning how many people are eating at a meal, I think, but I forget what. I forget now. It's very interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
Um,
starts out with
with 10, I think, and then it goes down to even one.
correct. That's right. That's right. Very good.
Because even with one, there's a pasuk that says Hashem is with you.
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, so this is Rabin. This is the many. Okay, and this is the din. Okay, even if two, Mare she'eni machem bal suda. Well, and even if it's not with the bal suda,
That's
yeah.
Kishe'eni Habala Suda, meaning we're talking about that the householder is not at the Suda, because that's what he's going to mention later on. If the householder is in the group dining together, he's going to take precedence to make the hamotzi over all. So here we're talking about where he's not there.
Okay. Oh, shechulam ba'alei suda ve'ochlim yachad. Or if they're, I guess, many eating together, but they supply their own food. Uh, and they supply their own food.
Yeah, like you could have, in a cafeteria in a business cafeteria or something like that, or a business lunchroom. Everyone brings their own food, right? But
Uh-huh.
sometimes, you know, they'll have one common loaf of bread or something like that. But they're basically bringing their own food.
Right. Okay. Um, Gadol Shebechulam. Okay, so there's a, very distinguished person among them. Uh, the Chachma in wisdom or learning, I guess. Okay, Mipnei Kivodo. Give him precedence out of the respect, Mipnei Kivodo. Okay, and then Botsea, breaking the bread. Motzi acharim bevirchato. Uh, so he should breaking the bread is what he says. Hamotzi should also uh, acherim. Others should say the motzi too.
Well, they are
Or he's
um,
saying it for them.
being motzi with his brocha. He is including them in his
Oh,
brocha.
with his bracha, right? Okay. Va'afilu b'makom minhag dechol echad mivarech la'atzmo al kikaro. And even if you're in a place with a minhag, dechol echad, that each one says the blessing for himself over his uh, loaf of bread. Okay,
Right.
mikom makom, minhag degadol botzea tchila. Nevertheless, the tradition is to distinguish one breaks the bread first.
Right. I mean, even in a case where they don't have one person making hamotzi for everybody, rather each individual person makes their own individual personal brachas hamotzi. Nevertheless, the gadol should be the first one to make the hamotzi for
Mhm.
himself.
Okay, v'hechatan b'yom chatunato botzea af al pi sheyesh v'hamisubim gadol mimena. Oh, okay. And the chassan at his wedding, or on his wedding day, literally, breaks the bread, even if there's a distinguished people uh, around, I guess, from him.
Yeah, that
Well, I guess he's the distinguished one that day.
because he's the chassan, right? The chassan is doimel melech. He has a status of being a king that day, even though there are those who are sometimes much greater in wisdom and years than he. But on the day of his wedding, he takes precedent over all.
Mhm. Okay, so lahakdimo, to give him precedence. It says, let's see, dictive the kidash to. So it's written that you should sanctify him. I wonder where that's from. Oh, it's someplace in Vayikra. Okay. The Amru Chazal, and Chazal said L'chol davar she bikdusha. Uh, that I guess each matter has its holiness.
Right. Well, no, it says there that in this case that the Ramah is referring to, right,
Mhm.
that um, that the mitzvah is to give precedence to the Kohen because it said v'kidashtoi. It says that by the Kohen it says v'kidashtoi. Amru Chazal Kol davar shebekadusha pachos rishon v'vrech rishon. In all things of holiness or sanctity, he should do it first. He should start things off first, or he should make the bracha first.
Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. I'll have to look that one up later. Okay, good. Let's see. Ayin, it says Talmidei Hacham Kodem Lo. Okay, so a learned person takes precedence over him. Uh, the Asur, the Talmidim Hacham Lahakdim Lefanav. Okay, so what's this? It's forbidden for a uh, learned person, I guess, to take precedence before him. So who's him? Let's see. Umivazeh b'zeh ein haTorah. Oh, that he doesn't have mivazeh is like a busha, isn't it?
Right. A disgrace of sorts.
It's a disgrace for the Torah. Hmm. Let's see. The Itam L'Chaman B'Simin Reish Aleph. Okay, so we'll see it below, I guess, in Reish Aleph. The Davka Im Makdimo Lefanav Derech Hok U Mishpat Kahuna. Oh, so it applies. Let's see, precedents before him. Derech Hok. It's the way of the law, and with
Mishpat
judgment that have
and justice, right?
the Kohen had precedence, I guess.
That's right.
Okay. The Hainu, Mipnei Shehu Kohen. Oh, because he is the Kohen. Okay. No, I just lost it. Okay. Rashai. So I guess it's permitted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we still in, yes, Ayin Aleph is Tov Lahakdimo. It's good to give it to him, to the Kohen. The Ita Gemara Shemi Shetnis Harmize Ma'arich Yamin Bekach. Okay, so what it says in the Gemara that one these hearts is careful of this, I guess, so that his days will be long because of this. Oh,
Right.
okay. Wow.
Even if a person's a Talmud Chacham, so it's still um, proper to give the Kohen the mitzvah of making hamotzi either for everybody or at least first. Right.
Okay. And let's see, Ayin Bet. I guess we're still in Ayin Bet Imachem Bal Habayit. Okay. So the head of the household is with these people. Rotzelomor, that is to say, Baal Habayit, no, Baal Hasuda Shochel Imahem. Okay, that the um, head of the meal eats with them. Okay, so he's providing the food. I guess the Baal Suda. Okay, and let's see, Ayin Gimel, who botzea, he breaks the bread, V'hu kodem afilu l'kohen v'tamid hacham. Oh, even takes precedent over the Kohen and the learned person. Kedei shivatzeh b'ayin yafeh. Uh, so he breaks, in order to break, I guess, nice pieces. Yafeh,
Right, generously.
generously. Oh,
Right. So
okay.
that's as I mentioned, the reason why the householder who's providing the meal, he goes before everybody, whether it's a Kohen, whether it's a Talmud Chacham, he takes precedent before everyone because he who's the householder, since it's his bread, he has a right to be generous with anyone he wants and is wants to do it in as lavish a way as possible if he wishes that he has the wishes to do it. In contrast, whether it's a Kohen, whether it's a Talmud Chacham, when they're going to be the one who's making a motzi and cutting the bread to give out, so it's not right for them to be generous at the expense of the balabayas, right? If it's their own place, their own bread, so they can be as generous as they like. But who says they really have a moral right and ability to be generous with other people on the Peshbon of the balabayas?
Hmm,
And
okay.
now one more point um, about this, that the balabayas, when he's inviting people over, right? So it's a mitzvah that he should make people feel comfortable, that he's not giving his last food and drink to these people, these guests, because sometimes guests may feel inhibited if they don't see that the balabais, the person who's inviting them over, their host, in other words, if they don't see that the host is uh, is necessarily being lavish in his Suda, so they may think that the Balabais, the host, is not doesn't have that much, and they will
Uh-huh.
feel inhibited in taking too much, right? So it's a
Uh-huh.
mitzvah when people come over to dine by you, that you should make them feel comfortable, especially by having enough food. And again, you don't it doesn't have to be uh, super expensive. Who knows what kind of food it's, but if as long as there's a sufficient amount that they feel comfortable that they can eat to their heart's desire. They don't have to be inhibited in terms of how much they eat. So that's a very big mitzvah and a very big plus in the mitzvah that you're doing in terms of being hakasasorachim. Now you can feed them, let them sleep, and they can be dieting, but they can still be very far from um, enjoying their meal. Right? You want
Mhm.
them to come over. If you're hosting a meal for them, you want them to come over and enjoy their meal.
Right.
Very good. Okay, so let's hold here, and we'll pick up tomorrow, Mitzvah.
Okay, so Ayin Dalet will start. Okay.
Very good. Okay.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Thank you, Mary. Have
Hey,
a good afternoon. Hope to
Yeshaya.
see you all tomorrow. Be well.
Yes.